got goons in every area code, in every area code. I've got goons. No, I'm just kidding, not anymore, thank God, but I used to. That was a little play it. Look what I'm finally using. Good Lord. Finally. The topic of this video is not so much gonna get me in trouble with the Persian community as much as it is gonna cause problems with my family, because I'm the black sheep and I'm not allowed to talk about this, and I like make a scene or whatever when it comes to talking about the abuse. So two things we're gonna talk about is child marriage, which is allowed in Iran. You can get married when you're 9. And so my grandma got married to my grandpa when she was 11 or 13 and he was 25. So when my brother, Razi, was 25, 3 or 4 years ago, I asked him, I was like, would you ever marry an 11 or 13-year-old right now? And he goes, no. And I was like, yeah. Isn't grandfather a pedophile? So I don't know what the definition of pedophile means. My grandpa is 95. So my dad says that it was normal back then, but that's an excuse. What, 70 years ago, that was normal? But it's still allowed. So, you know, when people say free Iran, it's like, even before the revolution we left in 1984, even before that, which if you don't know, the Shah was in charge before the revolution, and it was really free there, and it was starting to become like America. So then Khomeini came in and he combined the state with religion, so you had to be Muslim. I remember every time my dad went to Iran, they were like, he's gonna get killed, and I was like, really? He just went a year and a half ago and they were still saying it. I was like, wow. So you can't admit you're a Christian in Iran. Another airplane over my head. And then the crazy part is, like, no matter what mountain I'm on or where I am, they're always above my head. It's just very odd. I don't know what that means. I'm trying to, like, you know, Romans 8:28. So maybe when I see one, it's like reminding me of something. I feel like it's trying to help me, because everything is communicating with me, literally. I know, because everything is communicating with me. I'm very perceptive and I'm hyper aware. So the sun's going behind a mountain, and behind a cloud, and the sunset is going to be magnificent. I can't wait to show you guys. And then on my mom's side, so you know Rich Dad Poor Dad? I got to experience both worlds because my parents split when I was 8 or 9, 1988, 1989. I always thought it was my fault because on my mom's side, her brother's son, I always thought he was 18. I was 8. He molested me. And he dry humped me. So like mine wasn't as bad as everybody else's. We'll get into that. But my dad came from a poor wannabe middle class, and then my mom came from a super affluent family, and then she married my stepdad, who didn't have money at the beginning, but he went from painting, like starting his own painting company. I remember he used to pay me $20 to go like paint back in the day, 90s. And then he started doing home improvement remodeling, and that's when they really came into money. So, but again, it's not like real money. I don't think he has like liquid assets or that his net worth is liquid. I think, you know, a lot of these people go in debt, and so you think they have money, but they're in debt and they know how to pay their debts. They're continuously in debt and they use that. You should read Rich Dad Poor Dad. So anyways, I got to see on my mom's side, there were 11 kids. She had 10 brothers and sisters. One of them died, and she was one of the youngest. So anyways, when I was 18 or 19, my grandpa died. And he had a lot of money, and the sons, there's 6 sons and 4 daughters. So my mom has 3 sisters and 6 brothers. And the guys got double what the girls got. The girls got half of what the guys got. The females are super oppressed there. It's wild. I know we're still oppressed in America and other countries and everything, but it's like really bad in other countries. I think I told you guys in one of my videos, my first video, I was like, my first vlog I ever did, I said, did you guys know that genital mutilation is a thing still? And there's a TED talk on it. You should listen to it. Try to find it and listen to it. It's not called genital mutilation. I wish I could remember. Maybe if I find it, I'll let you guys know. But so the sexual abuse started with me, I thought. And everyone always tells me I'm like so positive, whatever. I always look for the silver lining, and that guy helped me realize people just want to use me for sex, you know, and I stayed a virgin until I was 21. So I looked on the bright side. When I was 11, I found out that my aunt, my dad's sister, was molesting my sister. For a long period of time, I had no idea because we were always together. You know, one time I thought I woke up in the middle of the night and saw my aunt eating my sister out, but you know, 1991, seriously, Ricki Lake in 1996 came out with a lesbian person on her show, and one of my best friends threw up. I was like, what? So like that whole gay thing was super taboo back then, and I don't know, that friend ended up getting with my sister. So I don't know if she threw up because she was like, oh my god, I like it, and then she didn't know how to feel. I don't know what happened. But anyways, so oh, also what I was gonna say is I couldn't say anything because I was like, what is wrong with me that I thought that maybe I was dreaming or my aunt eating her out. And so I felt really embarrassed to even tell anybody, because that was okay. Anyways, and then one time my aunt kissed her on the lips, and then they acted weird because none of us kissed each other on our lips. My uncle Daireza, we kissed each other on the lips, and it was really innocent, but that we did it all the time. You know, they never did it, and then all of a sudden they did it and acted weird, and I was like, what the heck? But you know, you're just so innocent, you never really think anything, you know. So I'm so grateful that my heart still stayed open after all the betrayal I've experienced from a very young age. And that's what a lot of guys say they like about me, is like, oh, you still want to love after they find out how much trauma I have. Not you though, baby, not you no more. I don't want no guy, I don't want no guy, I don't want no guy or girl. Thank you, Lord. Oh my God, I feel like the shackles are off me. I'm making it clear to everyone. My mom's like, why don't you go marry a rich guy? You can have anybody, royalty, whatever. And it's like, ew, did it work for you? You always told me to go marry someone for money, and I never did. Did it work for you? No. And a lot of girls do this. They go with somebody for money, and then you gonna learn. You gonna learn the hard way, I guess. And so my mom is like learning the hard way that she... Hello, another one. So... growing up, okay, so 1980 when I was born to 1984, I was in Iran. And then 1984 to 1989, we were in San Jose. And then I lived in Hayward for a year. And then, oh, the reason we moved to Hayward is because my parents split. And that's what I was gonna say. I always thought it was my fault because when a counselor came to school, and that never happened. I don't know if I was acting weird and the teacher told the counselor to come and talk to everybody. And so when she asked me, you know, I told her, I trusted her, I told her what happened, and then she showed up at my house, and I was like, no way, she betrayed me. And I locked myself in my room and I peed my pants. I was so scared. So I always thought they split because of me, because I had told my mom and she told me not to tell anybody. I always thought it was because it was her side of the family, but my dad was just so mad. He was like, I'm out. That was the straw that broke the camel's back because they were so bad together. They fought all the time. So I was glad they split. My sister was not taking it well. So moved to Hayward for a year, then we moved to Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks, La Puente, and then, so when my dad's been married and divorced 4 times. My mom's been married twice. She's still with my stepdad. And when my parents split, I went to go live with my dad, 1988, 1989, because my mom said my dad said he can only afford $500 child support, and my mom said that's not enough. And she says my uncle told her that you're better off not having the kids. You'll find a better, which I believe is true. So I'm not mad at my mom at all, because I aborted my children. At least she didn't abort me. So, because my mom always says that, my dad always tells me that when you were 1 month old in Tehran, because a lot of people think that Iran is like, well, back in the day they thought that there's camels everywhere and it's a desert or whatever, but north of Iran is really cold, and South Iran, which is where I was born, Ahvaz, is really hot, and that's why I'm like super dark, because I was always like in the sun. But anyways, so my dad always tells me that when you were 1 month old, because I was born first, I'm the firstborn, he's like, your mom abandoned you from then in the cold. We had to sleep in my truck. And my parents used to always want to get me to hate the other one, and I would always stay neutral. So whatever, it's just practice for me to stay neutral, because nobody likes me to stay neutral, but I'm going to do what I want to do. So first wife was my mom. Second wife was Josie. She cheated on my dad. Third wife was Irene. She tried to get rid of me and my sister, but then she had a kid. But she said that the kids should be with the mom, that her kids should stay with her, but we should be with our mom. And so they didn't end up working out because she kept trying to get rid of us. And then the fourth and last one that they just got a divorce 1.5 years ago after 30 years is Cindy. So I lived with my dad, went through all that. At one point he would bring like 5, when he was in between wives, I think between Josie and Irene, he had like 5 or 6, 7 girlfriends at the same time. I couldn't get their names straight. One time he brought a girl home and I was like, when are you guys getting married? And he's like, I'm never bringing anybody home again, or I'm gonna tell you to go to your room. So when he got with Cindy, she always told us that her dad molested her. So we always felt sorry for her. We always give her special treatment, and she always got like get out of jail free card, because especially when my brother Kirk passed away, which Kirk was not my blood. When Cindy got with my dad, I was like 11 and Kirk was 2, I want to say. And so he was my brother, you know? And my dad adopted him. He changed his last name to ours when Kirk was like, 5 or something. So Kirk was my brother. But anyways, when Kirk died, Cindy went off the rails, understandably, and we always were lenient with her because we're like, she had such a hard life, her dad molested her, he didn't penetrate her. And then when she told everybody, nobody believed her, they disowned her. Every time one of like her, I think her dad died first, then her mom, or her mom and then her dad, and then her brother hung himself, which my dad's brother hung himself too. But my dad says that he was set up. He was dealing with some people that were, he got killed is what my dad is saying. But anyways, so during the pandemic, I found out my dad was molested when he was 5, and I just got really mad at Cindy for never, because she has a big mouth. She used to tell me that they use sex toys and all sorts of inappropriate shit, but she couldn't tell me that my dad was molested, and she wanted everybody to feel sorry for her. And I just lost all sorts of respect for her. And then when her brother hung himself, his daughter, Scott's daughter, Jennifer, instead of Cindy saying, no, don't go stay with my dad that molested me, come stay with me, she let Jennifer go and stay with Cindy's dad, and Cindy's dad penetrated Jennifer. She turned super masculine and gay and ended up on the streets in LA. So I was just really let Cindy have it. So me and Cindy went to war. During the divorce, I spit in Cindy's face. I spit in my dad's face. Like, if you know how disrespectful it is for a Persian female daughter, younger person, to spit in a Persian man, her dad's face. But I just was, I couldn't believe Have you guys ever heard of, when I was in college, I was studying business law, and one of the cases was like this crazy love. There's even a documentary on it called Crazy Love. Look it up. Some chick, when the guy that she was dating, or I don't know how serious they were, when she said, I'm gonna leave or whatever, he said, if I can't have you, no one can, and then he threw acid in her face. Went to jail. When he came back, she took him back. Because she felt like, I can't see, and like, just you know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm just so grateful I've never dealt with a psychopath that's been like, if I can't have you, nobody can, and didn't like hurt me, and so thank you, God. But this, my whole family thing, my mom kept seeing that guy that molested me, because he became really, really wealthy. He lived right next to P. Diddy in a gated community, and every time they had parties, my mom would go. And at one point I made it clear to her that, like, I can't tell anybody what to do. You can go, but the fact that you talk about him every time around me and you speak very highly of him is like, so finally I had to say something, and she still saw him, but it was practice for me to really just forgive. And then my dad, he just thinks so highly he thinks really highly of my grandpa. But the reason I said is because, so the pedophile part, when my grandfather was 25 and my grandma was 11 or 13, I guess when my dad was 5, she must have been 16 or 17, 18, something like that. She used to bring guys home. And nobody knows this in my family. So I'm about to start some ish right now. I'm about to run for my life. I need to leave the country because they're all gonna come after me, but it's okay. I gotta release this. So when she would bring guys over, some of them would touch my dad. And you know, during the pandemic, he opened up and told me, but he didn't tell me much. I really don't know exactly what happened, how many, how long, how bad. I don't know all that. But whenever I tell him, like, you should forgive your mom, because I would hate it if someone held something against me when I was young. I was so stupid. I made so many mistakes, like the abortions. I wouldn't do that anymore, but back then I justified it. My first husband told me that he couldn't have kids because he had surgery on his testicles when he was a kid, so I believed him. And then my second one, my second husband, I didn't think he would make a good father. He wouldn't help me whenever I rescued animals, so... And I was right, but I should have. That's when we started using condoms. Like, I would get those fish bowls off Amazon that were like 200 condoms in there, because I was like, I can't do this anymore. You know, the first one was the vacuum they put inside of you, and it was so traumatic. I cried so hard. And the second one, I took pills, and oof, that was, so you get to do it at home, but it was very, very painful and really torture. So whenever I tell my dad to forgive his mom, he can't. And he speaks so highly of his dad. And I'm just straight tripping that he can't see that his dad is a pedophile and his mom is the victim. If you really want to, you know. And then I can't really have a relationship with my dad. And every time my stepmom comes, because my brother had 2 kids with that chick, the Hispanic. Oh, which, by the way, I was saying Mexicanos or whatever, but I really meant Hispanic. My friend corrected me. Another one. So, whenever she comes, I kill her with kindness. But she always tells me, she's like, I'm not like you. I'm not kind naturally. You are naturally a kind person. You go out of your way to help people. Literally, I will go out of my way since I've been a kid. I've done this, like, it's just innate quality that I have, human nature for me. And she always says that like I have to try hard to be like nice to people because she has such a hard life, right? So, and she's the type of person that if she's not the captain, she will sink the whole ship. So she wanted me to feel what it felt like when her family died and didn't give her anything. So when my brother died, which I wasn't blood, but I gave the eulogy because we were the tightest, we were the closest, we were so like, she did that to me. All I wanted was his guitar because he played the guitar for me, and I wanted his clothes so I can wear them. And she's like, no, what about his friends? And I was like, what friends? He didn't have nobody. But okay, anyway, so the reason I think my dad and my stepmom are fake Christians when, okay, I'm gonna go back to when I was 16, but the reason I think they're fake Christians is because my brother is living with this chick out of wedlock, straight fornication, according to the Bible. I'm barely reading the Bible. I don't even know, but like, isn't that in your world fornication? I don't understand. And then you're hard on me for no reason. It's like, that's my whole life has been. Growing up, I was such a goody-goody, and I would always get in trouble because I was the oldest. My sister would always get in trouble. She got expelled, and I think I just got fed up when I was 16. I was like, man, I gotta mess up a little bit. I gotta rebel because I'm just being a good girl and getting in trouble. What is this? So anyways, they are so proud of him, and I think my dad feels sorry for him because he ended up being like him. He ended up having kids and, you know, kind of like being stuck, being the breadwinner, because the girl that he's with, one of her requirements was that she didn't want to work and she didn't want to do anything. She just wanted a child rear. She doesn't cook. She doesn't. I was like, is she gonna homeschool them? You know, like since the pandemic? And he's like, no. When I was 16, I told you guys, Nancy started going to church. I went with her. I didn't like the church thing, but I liked the praying thing, right? And I couldn't do that for more than 1 month because I felt like I wasn't worthy. Because I still said bad words, because I couldn't, I couldn't like be honest. I was afraid to hurt people's feelings. I still said white lies, etc., right? So my dad got inspired and started taking us to church. We went to Catholic church first. You know, when they do the whole bread thing, you're supposed to just put it in your mouth and then drink it. But I started chewing it and everybody looked at me. So I didn't have a good experience at the Catholic church. And then we ended up going to this little black church, Pasadena Community Church. They went there for 10 years. And thank God I went to go live with my mom, because every time we went to visit, they made me. I don't know if you know what Persian families are like. Cindy wouldn't have made me, but my dad made me go. Wednesday night was prayer night, Friday night was Bible study, and Sunday we went to double service, the 9 o'clock and the 12 o'clock. So we were there for like 6-7 hours on Sunday, helping set up, take everything down. And I didn't even understand when the pastor was praying, because have you ever seen some of these black guys, the way they talk? They're like, let me think of a Bible verse that I can tell you guys. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son that he, you know, when they take like that, I can't even do the deep breaths because I'm not like speaking like that, but you know what I mean? Like, so half the time, no, the majority of the time, I didn't even know what he was saying, you know? I gotta turn the camera around, the sunset's getting really beautiful. But I remember they never like really, it's sad, I don't want to say never, okay? Because they split once they became saved, born again, to get married and get back together. So they both got baptized. My dad went to go live with a brother in the church, Brother Anthony. God bless your soul. I think he's in jail. He let him stay there for free, I think, or for dirt cheap, but I think it was free. And then Cindy was with Kirk and Razzie, and I'm pretty sure my dad helped her or whatever, but once they got married, they lived together. And my dad always cheated on my stepmom. Always. I cannot emphasize enough always. So they were always fighting. Literally, they have gotten addicted to stress. It's so sad. Their cortisol levels are just, they're used to it. It's so sad. And I think I'm gonna turn the camera around because the sunset's so pretty. What should I do? Or do I, is it for me to enjoy? All right. So I remember one time, probably in my mid-20s, 2005 or something like that, I went there and they had a successful business together. They sold insurance. So they had their own office and they always lost employees because they bickered and fought in front of the employees. It was super embarrassing, you know? And so one time they were fighting and I didn't really kick it with them. Whenever I came to visit, I kicked it with Razzie and Kirk. But one time, Razzie and Kirk were at the office and I came and I saw the bickering and I just told them, like, do you think that Jesus would bring you guys together to split right now? Because they were talking about divorce and I was just so disappointed. Good boy. Oh my God, they're having a little photo shoot with a little Pomeranian. That's so cute. Hey, boy. Relaxation. And yo, my dad and Cindy's divorce was the ugliest divorce I've ever seen in my life. Because my ex and I, well, my first husband, our divorce was super easy because I had already gotten a restraining order against him because he hit me. Pretty much everybody I've been with has hit me. And even the last guy, nothing lasts forever. The reason we split is because he went like this. And I was like, oh, yo, you're not worth going to jail. You gotta go. And then he was like, I can see why all of your exes hate you. My second husband and I, we had the most civilized divorce because we really like loved each other, and I wanted to make sure he's better off without me. At least, like, I didn't want him to be worse off, or I didn't hate him. I just had to accept that there's a season for everything, and we had just drifted apart, literally. Oh God, wow, it's so pretty. Wow. So during my dad and Cindy's divorce, the realtor that had gotten them the house, my dad was like, oh, you think our divorce is bad? That realtor lady who was super professional, classy, you'd never think in a million years, her divorce with her husband was taking so long, over 5 years, that she tried to run him over with her car, and almost got arrested, or did get arrested. So, you know, people are nuts. People are nuts. And I'm so grateful that, I'm telling you, I think because I'm so honest. I'm very, very honest, and I tell people, you know, that I just will cut you. You'll be dead to me. I don't know. Let me just show you guys this really quick because you won't believe how pretty it is. Oh wow, this thing is amazing. Can you guys see this? Let's see. Come on, sweetie. Do you guys remember in my video where I was like kicking? What is that video called? I was kicking? I think Worship With Me in that video. I remember when I screamed and I said, I can't believe I wasn't bleeding. One of those weeds got stuck in my foot. It was so painful and bad. I have to be really careful. I don't know, I worry about cricking. The reason my sister and I are the black sheep is because we tell on everybody. Whenever we find out someone's being abused, we always tell on them. There's a little kid here. I'm gonna wait till I forgot to take your leash off. Come here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, sweetie. Good boy, honey. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good cutie, huh? You ready to eat? Yeah. There's a dog coming and Kirky seems extremely interested and I want to focus. So basically, before my brother passed away, hey guy, I think you're blocking the sun. Can you come here? Come here, sweetie. Come here. Get over there. Come here. I guess let me see if he's blocking the sun. Oh, nice. Okay. So before my brother passed away, we found out that my aunt, her husband had an affair and had a kid, and the mom went to jail. They live in Irvine and they're super classy. This was like really crazy, okay? So the kid had to come live with them. And one time we went there, and my brother Razzie, he was playing a video game with her, and he's like, she told me that one of my cousins was molesting her. And I was like, no way. So my husband at the time wanted to go back and kill him, and so did Kirk. And I was like, no, you guys, in the Persian world, respect is really, this is my dad's sister. So I had to go, I went and told my dad, and I said, let's invite them over as soon as possible, because this is serious, right? So that night, we told them to come the next day, and they came, and I sat with my aunt, and I told her, I didn't call Child Protective Services, I'm talking to you to take care of it. And then she told us that she has cancer, and nobody knows that she has cancer. So that was really hard to just like wait and see if they, like I trusted them. But then my other cousin that was visiting, he went and came back and was like, Sue, it's still happening, because she would go into the room with him and he would lock it. I would try to go open it and it's locked. And so my sister and I had to call Child Protective Services, and then my aunt never talked to us again. So my brother died in 2015, and this was in 2014, 2015, before my brother died. So since then she hasn't talked to us. And a lot of times I've exposed abuse, whether it's been like you're walking into the lion's den or someone's cheating on you, and it's always gotten me in trouble. I'll never forget females that I tell their man is cheating on them. They won't believe me, they'll treat me like crap, and they'll go back to their man. So there's a price to be paid for being honest and truthful. Literally my whole life I've experienced it, that you do get chastised, you do get put through the ringer. Can you see that angel wing right there? I mean, can you see that cloud? Doesn't it look like an angel wing? I see, I've been seeing angel wings in the clouds since I almost died. December 2020. Christmas. December 25th, 2020. I had pneumonia for 3 days. On day 3, my organs shut down. It reached my heart. I said, God, I'm ready. And then all of a sudden I came back to life. Like seriously, it was the craziest thing. Since my parents split, I've been the glue that's kept like everybody together. And even after Kirk died, after the pandemic, after my dad and Cindy divorced, everything, I've been the glue that keeps everybody together, or kept everybody together. And now I'm willing to let it all fall apart. I'm not gonna. The truth has to come out. And God is with me. I'm not worried at all. Romans 8:28. Wow, that's like 7 at least. Because I just feel like everything is confirmation for me that I'm on the right path. Wow, that's so pretty. Wow. I was watching a TED Talk on, it's called The Porn Experiment. It's like from 10 years ago. It's not even that long. It's like less than 20 minutes, but it was unbelievable. They were basically saying since internet porn came into existence that every man watches since like age 10 or whatever, they watch porn and get addicted. And he explained how it works. They had a control group of guys that didn't watch porn, because it causes erectile dysfunction in really young men, and I've experienced it because I look young for my age. I used to date 18, 19-year-olds, and sometimes they'd have ED, and I'd be like, what the heck? And I realized they're addicted to porn. So I realized that myself. So I've never watched porn on my own. I've never gone and looked for, that's why I can't even be with a dude, because they don't know how to make love, you know? And the only times I've ever watched porn is when I found it on hold on, I gotta see this, hold on. The only time I watched porn was when I found it on the computer. My first husband and my second husband hid it from me, but like I had something to do for school and I went into the deleted and I found it. And also Tyson asked me, can we watch it together? And I felt so degraded. And he didn't even watch that bad compared to the other two. So I feel like it's voyeurism, but just socially accepted by society, sort of, not really. But it's like voyeurism. It's like you're a peeping Tom, but you get to do it through a screen instead of a window. And it's really, most of them are based around pleasing the man, which, if you know, good sex is when you please the woman, and then the man is pleased by pleasing the woman, because the woman is sensual and not meant to choke on your ding-a-ling or put it, you know, your butt is Hershey highway exit only. I've never liked anal. My first husband traumatized me. He didn't know, you have to use lube because your vagina naturally has lubrication, but not your anus. A lot of people don't know this stuff, but wow, this is so pretty. I am really excited for myself because God has shown me so much, and I've kept mum's the word because I had to get rid of all the snakes in my circle, and God heard conversations that I didn't hear, people talking about me behind my back, or if I didn't really vibe with someone, God removed them. So I'm just really excited because the vision that God has given me, the fact that I'm going all in with my purpose, and my purpose is to fulfill the will of God in my life. Check that out. I figured it out. Hallelujah. Everyone's trying to figure out what their purpose is. So enough about me. This isn't about me. My identity is in Christ. I just wanted to share my trauma with you in case any of you guys are dealing with generational trauma, breaking generational curses, starting the generational healing. If any of you guys are doing that, if you're the black sheep, if you're the outcast, you're not alone, okay? I love you. Just from afar. I need to start surfing. Wait, hold on. Wow, you guys gotta see the whole 360, and then I gotta get going. Oops. All right. Kirky's eating a stick. He's letting me know he's hungry. I got you, boy. Let's go. This is gonna start a war in my family, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm telling you, I used to be non-confrontational, super giving, loving, gave everybody whatever they wanted without asking questions. Captain Save-A-Ho, just saving everybody left and right, not realizing that I'm getting in the way of their karma. So, as a warrior of light, I have to speak the truth. And if my family doesn't want to admit how much trauma and abuse we've all endured, for what? It needs to end. The truth will set you free. I truly believe that.